Hey, I'm Brandon Fisher with Master Your CRM. Thanks so much for joining me today. Let's master this together. What is a smart campaign and how do they work? That is what we're going to cover. What you'll need: a BoldTrail account, an understanding of how to navigate BoldTrail, understanding how BoldTrail communicates with your contacts, and understanding lead statuses, hashtags, and lead sources. If you're a little bit fuzzy on any of those concepts, I made a video called BoldTrail, the first 10 things to know and set up, and I cover these in that video. So go back and watch that if you feel not confident in what you're doing. What is a smart campaign and how do they work? Today we're going to talk about how to navigate to the smart campaigns, what a smart campaign is, understanding the lead statuses and hashtags, what are default campaigns, how do I turn campaigns on and off, how to create a template, how to build a smart campaign, and finally how to find a lead that has a campaign running. So let's pop in. So I've logged into my BoldTrail account. Again, as you all know, this is your dashboard. On the left-hand side, what we're going to do is navigate over to the marketing tab. It's the little megaphone over there. Click that and you're going to be presented with some marketing tiles. And in here, you'll see smart campaigns. That is what you want to look for, and that's where your campaigns are hosted. So we'll click Manage Campaigns, and that will pop us into all of the campaigns that you currently have running. And you should see in the top left-hand corner, unless you belong to a team or you're an office admin, you'll see your name in the top left-hand corner or those other options. So first thing to know is if you are a team admin or an office admin, you can change the scope of which campaigns you're working with. So if you're a team or an office admin, you can create campaigns for leads that come in from your team website or from your office website, company website. But most of us watching this video will just see your name in the top left-hand corner, and you're going to be managing the campaigns for yourself. So make sure your name is in the top left. Now, what are we looking at here? To the left, right below your name, you're going to see My Campaigns, you're going to see System Library, and you're going to see Templates. Let's go over what each of these are. My Campaigns is going to be where all your campaigns are currently. These are the ones that you can turn on and off. System Library. This is going to be pre-built campaigns that Inside Real Estate has built for you. Or if you have shared a campaign or someone has shared a campaign with you, you would find it in here. If you like any of these campaigns and you want to turn them on, you just click over here to Add My Library on the far right-hand side, and that will be added to your My Campaigns tab. Next to that is Templates. And in here, you're going to see email templates for your system, text message templates, call templates, task templates, and even webhooks. A webhook is an action that BoldTrail can take to send information out to third-party sources based on triggers. Now in here with templates, it's a special area because templates are the templates for your entire system, not just smart campaigns. So if you have a template in here for emailing a client or texting someone and you want to reuse that template, you would come into your campaigns, you would go to templates, and you would create the template in this templates folder. Then when you're emailing somebody from a contact card or mass emailing them, you can use that template in that area. So just know templates has dual purpose. I'm going to click back on My Campaigns. On the left-hand side, you'll see the campaign name. You'll see the campaign description. You're going to see when it starts, who it's designed for, buyer, seller, agent, vendor, so on and so forth. Channels, what this is how many different communication channels or actions are in your campaign. Touches will be that number. Always run is, do you want this campaign to always run or not? Is this campaign turned on or off? You can tell by this little blue toggle switch that this one's on, but all the other ones are off. And then scope. Who built this campaign? In this case, I have one right here and I built it. So it says user, but most of them are going to say company if it's a default campaign or your team or company built it for you. Let's go into a campaign and take a look at what these are. So a really popular one is the default new lead buyer campaign. If I click on that, it's going to open up and show me all of the actions that belong to this campaign. In the top left-hand corner, you're going to see the campaign name. You're going to see who it's designed for, the campaign's description. Below that, you can see the other information that you put together when you build a campaign. So this applies to buyers. This starts when the lead is a new lead and the source is not a tracked call. So what this campaign means is anytime a lead comes in your system that's not from your smart number and somebody calling that, then this campaign will run if you have it turned on. And then always run is set to no, and scope is the company level. Now, if I wanted to create this campaign on my own or duplicate it and make adjustments, I can clone it and it will make a copy. And then I can go down here and edit all of the actions. Since this is a default campaign that BoldTrail gives to you as a part of, your membership, I cannot edit this unless I clone it. Then you'll see the campaign history right here. So you'll be able to see how many times this was edited, when it was created, so on and so forth. Below that are the campaign actions. To the left, starting from the left over, you're going to see time. And this time is going to tell you when that action takes place. It starts from the moment the lead comes in your system. The method of contact, so what kind of action are we taking? Is this a task for me to reach out to the person? Is it a call? Is the system going to call me? Or am I going to call the lead? Is it going to send out a text message, an email? You can even change hashtags. You can change lead statuses. You can set up webhooks. There's tons of really cool things you can do with Smart Campaigns. Next to that, you're going to see the template name. So this one is a task, new lead, send a text. Immediately after that, this one says call and leave a voicemail. Immediately after that, it says buyer immediate text. So the system's going to text them 7 minutes after the lead comes in. Let's take a look at what these look like if I wanted to view what it says. So for example, this text message, if I click view next to it on the far right hand corner, you're going to see the name again of the task. Then you're going to see what it says. This one says, hi, thanks for requesting property info on our site. Just curious, are you actively searching for a property or just browsing right now? And then you're going to see this little funny bracket. This bracket is called a merge tag. And a merge tag populates information into those brackets based on what's inside of those brackets. So this says agent first name. So it's going to populate with your agent first name inside of that bracket. Why are merge tags so helpful? Or what are they for? Well, essentially you can build out an email or a text with these merge tags and make it very personalized to the person you're sending it to. So it can populate with the person's name, can change out your website, it can populate your email signature, it can do all kinds of things, and there's a ton of merge tags. We'll go over that. An email, let's take a look at that. Below that text is an email. We're gonna click view and see what this says. And you can see there are a ton of merge tags in here, but this one says, thanks for checking out agent site URL. So it's going to populate with your agent website. Are you looking to buy soon or just browsing at this point? A lot of these messages will have open-ended questions in them derived to elicit a response in your lead. So when you're building out your own templates, text messages, keep that in mind. You want to make it conversational. You want to elicit a response. That way the lead turns from new lead to active lead, and then you can start your communication with that person. All right, so that's what a smart campaign looks like, what a text looks like, what an email looks like. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is how do you set up a campaign from the beginning? Well, on the right-hand side, you see where it says Add Campaign. It's a green button. You can click that, and then it's going to bring up the builder. The first thing you're going to do is build the skeleton of the campaign. And what that means is you're going to tell the campaign who it's for. You're going to tell it the name of the campaign. You're going to give it a description. You're going to set the details, and then you're going to review it and set it up. Once it's established, then you can go in and start adding your actions, which would be a new text, a new email, a webhook, hashtags, all of that. So first things first, we're going to make sure it's scoped for me as the agent. I'm going to say, let's start this when the lead is a new lead. I can select the source, or let's say I wanted to start this as a hashtag because I have a campaign going out with a squeeze page or a landing page that has a hashtag associated with it. And anytime a lead comes in, I can associate that lead with this campaign by using the hashtag. which is really nice. Or let's say I wanted to do a date-based campaign. I wanted to send out, holiday messages, newsletters. You can set a specific day for when this starts. You can also do advanced triggers. So you can say, hey, I want to do when the lead is transferred to me, I want to start this campaign. So let's say you're on a team and you transfer leads with each other. Let's say I want to do the status. So the lead status is prospect or sphere or client. And when you go through your contacts and you start to use these statuses, you can add that status to the client, which will then trigger the campaigns. So there's a lot of ways that you can set these up. I'm just going to do new lead for now. What is always run? Well, there's a little I next to it that explains it, and let me go over what that is. Always run enabled means that the campaign will be assigned to a contact that meets the criteria, whether they have other assigned campaigns or not. So you can have multiple campaigns on a contact. For example, a holiday campaign, a newsletter campaign, and a new lead buyer campaign, right? That's 3 campaigns. Those are 3 different action sequences that the system will take to communicate with your lead. If you turn always run off, it won't add the campaign to your contacts if they have other campaigns associated with them. And then locked. Most of us are going to say no to this all the time. This is mainly for company admins or team admins who want to create campaigns for their agents and not allow their agents to edit that campaign. Next, we're going to tell the system who this is for. I'm just going to do buyer. I'm going to title it new campaign test. And then I'm going to give it a description. This is a test campaign. And you can title this whatever you want. Again, those statuses of always run is showing here and locked. Those carry over from the previous step. And then finally, you're going to review what you've set up and then click finish. Now, once I've done that, it's going to reload my system and show me that I have a campaign loading, and we're going to find that campaign. So on the left-hand side, again, where campaign names are showcased, I'm going to find that one. It says new campaign test, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm taken into a blank campaign. There's the campaign information, there is the on and off switch, and the campaign history on the far right. Now, one of the cool things you can do with BoldTrail is, let's say you and I wanted to share campaigns with each other. I can click this little share token option, and I click share. It asks me, are you sure? I say yes. And then it will provide me with a share token. If I copy that token, send it to you, what will happen is you'll get this long API token, and then you'll come over here to your campaigns where it says my campaigns, so the library, if you will. And then on the far right where we clicked add campaign, to the right of that is a little square. If I click that square and I paste that code right in there, it will copy that campaign to your account. So you can share campaigns across brokerages and teams and agents. It's a really cool way, if you have a campaign that works, to share. So that's what share token is. All right, let's pop back into the new campaign. And so we're back. If I click add action over here on the right-hand side, this is how I'm going to add actions to my campaign. So I click that. I'm going to tell the system what kind of action do I want to add. Do I want to add a video? That's really popular right now and showcases a level of technical expertise with your potential clients that I think is really good. Maybe I want to change the status of this lead immediately. Maybe I want to remove a hashtag or add a hashtag. Maybe I want to add an email or a text message. So just think, what is your client's journey and how do you want to treat them with communication and within your system? So that's what you're going to want to do. Something that is really helpful is maybe build out your campaigns beforehand by writing down each action. Think about it clearly, then come in here and start to build those actions out. So we're going to click email, and you're going to be presented with the email builder. So one of the things you could do is you could look at templates. An extra tip that I would suggest to do is build an email template for yourself that has a header and also has a body and has your signature as a merge tag at the bottom. Then you don't have to recreate this email every single time. But there are a ton of templates already that you can use. So if you find one that you like, just click on it and it will populate in this email section. Now, there's two types of emails you can build. You can build a plain text email, which is what we're seeing here. And the way you would do that is you would add a subject, and then you would just start typing a paragraph. Hello, thanks for your interest in my website. Are you currently looking at buying or selling real estate? I don't know. You can put whatever you want. And then let's say I want to add a merge tag in here. And let's say instead of hello, I wanted to say hello and then the lead's name. I could click on this little sun icon at the top, this little drop down, and this is where you'll find your merge tags. So lead, first name, and boom, it populates with the merge tag. It's really handy. I use that feature all the time. Now, let's say I wanted to add my email signature that I put in my profile. I can click the sun here. I can go agent, and then I could use agent signature merge tag. And so now when this email goes out, it's going to say hi, lead, first name, message, and then my agent signature at the bottom. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Looks nice. I mean, it's just a plain text email, but it looks nice. And then I'm going to title the template test email 1. I'm going to name it. Typically the template name and the name of the action you're going to want to have be the same. And then I'm going to tell the system who it's from. So it's from me to the contact. I can also select from the lender to the contact. I can select from the system to the agent. And what that means is if you want the system to call you when you have a call action, you could do from system to agent. It's also going to be like that for text reminders, email reminders, so on and so forth. And then below that, I can run this immediately, meaning as soon as the lead comes in, it's going to send this email out as fast as possible. Or I can set the time. I can do time units, minutes, hours, or days. I can select the value. So do I want to go 1 minute after the lead comes in, or 1 hour, or 1 day? And you can determine that based on your actions and how you want to communicate with your leads. So I'm just going to do run immediately, and I'm going to hit save changes. All right, there we go. We've added our first action to a campaign. So what we can do is add another action, and we'll do SMS text. So now we're going to send a text. Thank you for checking out my website. Are you interested? Or let's say, did you find anything interesting that you might want to see? Again, you can say whatever you want. You can add merge tags with text as well. So if I wanted to, I could just do the bracket. And then as soon as I do that, you're going to see my options pop up. And lead first name is right there. Again, it's going to populate with the most common ones that are used. And it's really simple that way. So it's going to populate the lead's first name. Thank you for checking out my website. I'm going to name this one test lead SMS 1 from agent to contact. Run immediately. So the first things there, it's going to send out a text. It's going to send out an email right away once the lead comes in. And basically from there, you just rinse and repeat. So you start to add your actions, you start to add your calls, your texts, your lead statuses, all of that fun stuff. Now, one thing that I really think is cool with campaigns is, let's say you had a year-long campaign going on a new lead. They never responded. Well, at the end of that year-long campaign, you can add an action called add tags. And you can add a hashtag like campaign ended, right? That way you know that they were on the new lead campaign. Or let's say new lead campaign ended. Press enter, and now the hashtag that you want to be added to your contact will be added after the campaign has run. Now you're going to name this new lead ended hashtag. You're going to set the time and the date, days to add. It's going to add that hashtag. One of the neat things about campaigns is you can trigger campaigns based on hashtags. So the next thing you can do is create a new campaign that is another year long or 2 years or whatever, and have it be triggered by that hashtag that you just added. So you can have these campaigns spill onto each other and continuously communicate with your contacts. Now let's talk a little bit about the advanced email editor, and I'm going to do that by going back into templates. So I'm back here in Smart Campaigns, templates, and I'm going to go to email. I'm going to come up here to the right hand side where it says add template. I'm going to click email template, and now it's that same basic Word email that you're building, or you can do an advanced editor, which is almost going to be a whole nother video because it's pretty cool. But in here, you can build out really elaborate emails. So not just a plain text email. So you can add an image to the top, which is your header. So you just click on the button or the type of information you want to add to your email. So in this case, I'm going to drag image. You're going to see these blue lines populate. Do I want it to be up here or down here? Doesn't really matter. This is the first image on the page. So I'm going to drag it in there. Now let's say I also wanted to add a text box for the body of my campaign. I'm going to click and drag that over here. Now this one I want to be down here. So we want to make sure that it's linked by showing that blue line. Click that. Boom, there's my text box. And then let's say I want to do another text box for my email signature. I'm going to add that over here as well. And then I'm going to click on one of those boxes to start adding my text. Now, one of the neat things here is there's the merge tag option as well. So I click merge tag, and now I want to do agent signature. So we'll go in here and go agent signature. It's going to populate there. So now at the end of my email, there's always a signature. I never have to worry about that. And I can type in my text here. I can also click browse images to add my email header. I can upload a file. So I'm going to click on my folder here for my name. It's going to open the file system. And then I'm going to upload an image. So I created a template header that we're going to use for this. And that's just on my desktop. It's going to upload the image. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit insert. Once the image is uploaded to your file system, then you can add it. So click insert. There it is. So now at the top of my email is this header that I've created, the text body, and the email signature. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to title this email signature template. And I'm going to give it just a basic subject because this is going to change all the time. So I'm just going to say change out subject. And then I'm going to hit add template. Now there's a lot of other things you can do with emails. You can add videos. You can add HTML iframes. You can add dynamic content, which pages that move through each other. You can add social media links. You can make it really cool with adding a button. Maybe you want to send people to your lender's website for pre-approval or whatever. There's a ton of fun stuff that you can do in here. Again, like I said, this is going to be another video. Now I click add template and the template has been added. Now let's go back to my campaigns and let me show you how to add this to an email. If I click my campaigns, let's find that new test campaign I created. I'm going to click on it and then I'm going to go add action here on the right. I'm going to click email. Then I'm going to search for the template name, which is right here, email signature template. When I do that, you're going to see that email template that I created pops up here. I can go to edit advanced template. It's going to populate that template, and now I can start to add my text in here. I hit save template. What it's going to do is save a copy now. So you'll notice that the template name has gone away. I'm going to title this signature template email 1. I'm going to change out the subject. Thanks for checking out my website. I can title the action settings or the name. So most of the time you're going to want to change this. You're going to say who it's from, agent to contact, and then set your time and hit save changes. And that's how you do a custom email that's not just a plain text. Okay. Now that we've built a campaign, we've established how it works, we've established how to add actions to it, let's make sure it's turned on. So if I come over here, back to all of my campaigns, I can find my campaign I just built and I can turn it on with the switch of a button. Say yes, and now it will add this campaign to anyone in my system that meets that criteria. Okay, now that we've turned the campaign on, let's find a contact that has a campaign. I get this question all the time. I've added contacts to my system. It's sending out text, calls, communication, emails on my behalf, and I don't want that. So how do I control that? So when you go to your contacts, you can do it a few different ways. So you click on contacts in the top left, and you can filter your contacts by who has a running campaign and who does not. So let's take a look at the filters. And I covered this in my last video. I can go behavior. So I click on that filter, and I can say who has a search alert, who has a market report, who has a listing valuation, and who does not have a running campaign. So I can turn that on, and you'll see anyone who does not have a running campaign. I can also filter by specific campaigns. So if I want to see who has a holiday campaign, I can turn that on, and it will show me all of the people who have that, or who has a new lead buyer campaign on, so on and so forth. So that's a quick way to sort your entire database to make sure they have a campaign on or off. The other way you can do it is just by clicking on each lead. So in this case, I'm going to click my test lead, and on the far right hand corner, you're going to see all these options. These are your action options, and you're going to see active campaigns here. I can click add, and I can start to add campaigns to this, and it will filter by the campaigns that you have turned on. Okay, well, that's it for today. We have covered how to navigate smart campaigns, what is a smart campaign, understanding the lead statuses and hashtags, what are default campaigns, how to turn campaigns on or off, how to create a template and what a template is, how to build out a smart campaign, and how to find a lead that has a campaign. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, you want to ask me about how BoldTrail works, you want to talk about EXP and how that works, or you just want to talk about having your system set up and having me do that, you can scan this code right here and schedule a call with me. Thanks. Have a great day.